With NFL free agency right around the corner, I'm previewing every team's offseason, starting with the AFC East. Beginning in New England, the defending AFC champion Patriots are currently slotted to have around $43 million to spend, but that number could go up should they decline their March 13th bonuses for Christian Barmore and Stephon Diggs. Both Barmore and Diggs have bonuses that can either be picked up or declined for $6 million, and with both guys dealing with off-the-field legal issues right now, there's a chance the Patriots could decide to move on from one or both of them. They still have $43 million to work with in the present, and that could be really important because they're going to need to re-sign guys like K'Lavon Chaisson, who broke out as an edge rusher for them last year, and also safety Jalen Hawkins, who was a starter in the secondary for them. Now, their rivals, the Bills, are in a much worse situation. They're currently looking at negative $12 million in salary cap. Now, they're going to save around $6 million when they do release Curtis Samuel, but Brandon Beane's going to have to do a lot more maneuvering before the Bills have money to spend. The Bills' offensive line has been one of its strengths for a while now, but with Connor McGovern and David Edwards both hitting free agency, it's questionable if the Bills' O-line will be as good next year. Joey Bosa is also set to be an unrestricted free agent after his one season in Buffalo where he forced 5 fumbles and had 5.5 sacks. That's another position the Bills are going to have to replace. Maybe in the draft they're going to look to pick up an edge rusher. And additional longtime contributors like Matt Milano and Daquan Jones could also be out the door unless they are able to come back on a much cheaper salary. The Miami Dolphins are certainly in a bit of a transition period with a new GM and a new head coach coming over from my Packers. They've already released Tyreek Hill, James Daniels, and Nick Westbrook-Akine, and they're planning on releasing Bradley Chubb later in the offseason with a post-June 1st designation to save another $20 million. That would bring them to around $23 million to spend in cap space, but they only have $3 million to spend before June 1st. The Dolphins are certainly going to try and rebuild. There's not a ton of key free agents that I think they'll bring back. Rasul Douglas had a pretty good season for them last year, and he does have those Packers ties, but he is an older player. I don't really see him going back to Miami. And as for the rest of their free agents, it really might be addition by subtraction in Miami. And finally, the New York Jets have $79 million to spend. Where they're going to spend it, I have no idea because they need a lot of help at a lot of different positions, but they do have a few key free agents, starting with left tackle Elijah Vera Tucker, who has been a really solid offensive lineman at the tackle or guard position for them, but he's dealt with an array of injuries since being drafted about 5 years ago. And will he re-sign with the Jets? Do the Jets want to re-sign him? That's a question I'm not sure. There's also the question of Breece Hall's free agency. Jets GM Darren Muge said that he wants to bring Breece Hall back, but they're not sure if it's going to be on the transition tag, the franchise tag. To me, if you're the Jets, the tag is a one-year thing. I would just make sure you franchise him and make sure that you get draft compensation back for him. The transition tag, I get it's cheaper, but you also don't get the benefit of getting draft picks back if Breece Hall was to move on in the future.